Hey guys, it's good to see you. Welcome to Middleburg, Florida. It's Talk Cornhole. You got robbed. Pilot episode. We're out here in Middleburg, Florida. Clay Chandler, he's a big supporter of St. Michael's Soldiers, and he likes my partner, J.D. Wilson, and he only knows me a little bit, but he likes me a little too. He let us be out here in this beautiful setting, pool in the background. We're in Florida, like I said, Middleburg, Florida. We're out here just having a good time. It's our first pilot episode. I want to give thanks to them. I want to give thanks to St. Michael's Soldiers. I want to give thanks to Stacy Moore and the American Cornhole League for the opportunity to do some video podcasting for them. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, maybe 2 years. Been talking about doing a cornhole podcast. Everybody's heard my live, maybe not everybody, but the cornhole world has heard my live commentary on Facebook. You guys know I love it. I've been playing this game since 2015. Just got a chance to go pro last year. Loved it. Went to every national. It was incredible. Great season. I'm able to do it alongside my beautiful wife, April Chismark. She's a pro. We're not on the same team because sometimes when she misses a bag, I look at her and she says, "You didn't fold the clothes last week." So she blames it on me. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So I just want to welcome you guys in, let you know my first episode is going to be with April. April is a 2017-18 national champion, world champion, if you will, at the final event. It was in Cherokee, North Carolina that year. And she's been playing probably 1 year less than me, but she got way more serious than I did, and she's just been unbelievable. April, I brought you out here because we got this crazy stuff going on, this coronavirus, this COVID-19. We've all been having to social distance, but you and me, we haven't had to social distance, thank goodness. So I wanted to bring you on as my first co-host. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Tell me a little bit about yourself and you in the game.
Well, I'm a mom of two. They're both grown, so we had some time on our hands. We needed something to do that we could do together and that I could beat you at. So cornhole was a game that we started playing together, and I like to explore new places and go see new things, and cornhole gave me an opportunity because, you don't leave the building.
I like to attribute that to the fact that maybe I drink a little bit too much. And the good thing about that is April takes care of me. She did say she's a mama too, but I like to think maybe it's three. Because I am sometimes just a little bit more childish than I need to be. So April, tell me some of, give me some of your most I don't know what the best accomplishments you've had in the game. Tell me what you've been most proud of.
Well, first was beating you my first game ever. I don't remember when it was, but it was good because he used to let me win all the time. And I finally beat him on my own. And besides just the two of us, like you said, the world championship with Rosie. We got paired up in a blind draw. Then this season, Samantha Finley and I have paired up for regionals, and we've won 3 straight months in a row.
Regionals doubles here in Jacksonville. That was fun.
Yep.
You beat a couple of pro teams.
Ryan and Luke. Rob and JD. Not necessarily throwing cornhole, but last season, my partner Bethany and I were the only pro women's team.
All women pro team. That's awesome.
All women pro team, the first one.
So tell me a little bit about that. I know your first match, we were discussing it. I remember this vividly. You had a father and son team. It was David and Well, Mr. and David Woodall, you were about to go play them, and you asked me, are they good? Because you know that I follow this game a little bit. And I know that one of the things that keeps you motivated in the game is that you don't care who you're playing against. You don't want to get to know them as a cornhole player. Maybe you want to get to know them as a person, but not necessarily as a cornhole player. So you didn't know them, so you came for the scouting report. You said, hey, how are these guys? I said, well, they're from Tennessee, and that means that's probably a pretty good team. And then tell me what happened.
Well, I think it was the sun. He was running late, so he didn't get to warm up. And Bethy and I were very happy for that because it was our first pro win of the season.
First pro win against they are a very accomplished team. They've been playing for a long time. And when they became pros, I thought they were going to be a team to reckon with. And when you guys took them down, that to me was just, I was so happy for you. Because I went 0-2. So it was in Fort Lauderdale, and I was more nervous. I couldn't talk myself into hitting the board that day. So it was something else, man. I don't even know how it worked that way, but that's how it was. So tell me a little bit more. I know that as we've been going through this game, you enjoy the travel part because it gets you to, because the ACL takes us to places like Philadelphia, and they took us to Phoenix last year, and you've also been, they took us to St. Louis, so you got to see the Arch, and you've also been with me to California, and we've had a chance to go to, we went to New Jersey, and maybe we went there for something else, but we got to play cornhole. But tell me what it's like. You get to go to these other places, and tell me how you feel about it. Tell me, what do you look forward to when we go to those places?
Well, I start scouting the location, what's around. I'm not a big history buff, but, if something's known for the Liberty Bell, you got to go see the Liberty Bell and the Arch. So I enjoy playing cornhole, but I'm not one to sit there and play cash games or just practice when I get done with my matches. I want to go play and go visit places. Like you said, the St. Louis they were all inside. I went to the Arch by myself. Went and got White Castles afterward and brought it back. My friend and I, we went to see Ben Franklin's grave. We went to see the Liberty Bell. When we went to Cherokee, I've been to see the waterfalls, Klingman's Dome. So I don't want to sit inside all day. I'm an outdoorsy person. I enjoy playing cornhole, and I enjoy hanging out with my friends, but I want to do something besides, because if it wasn't for cornhole, I might not get to those places.
That's interesting, because I do know that we never did. I know that we've just now become empty nesters because our kids have grown and gone away. But so I know we've always wanted to travel, but this game has given us the opportunity to go all over the country. And being pros, we are contracted to be at a few of them. So we kind of take our time to decide which one. Sometimes we think we're going to skip one, and then all of a sudden we need the points to be able to qualify again. So then we end up going to Connecticut and things like that. So to me, that's one of the best parts about it, is that we have been able to be together, and we didn't have to play together, so we didn't argue a little bit more. So to me, that's an incredible point, and it's awesome. So tell me some more about. There's some other things I want to talk to you about. There are some things that you would like to get started with kids in the game. You are tight with Valerie Lopez and the Shot Kings. What are they? They're called the Kingdom Kids.
Kingdom Kids. And
you're kind of tight with them, and you've been working alongside of them with trying to get some stuff started here in Florida. Tell me, what's your motivation? What's your passion behind that? Tell me, what's that all about?
So, when I decided to be a pro last year, they asked us some questions. Why do we want to be a pro? And one of the things that I put on there was I wanted to pioneer the sport for women. So as the first women's pro team, we did okay. But now this year, there's a couple of other women's pro teams, and there's a lot more women playing. So now that we've got more women playing, we need to get the younger generation involved too, to keep the sport growing and try to get cornhole to the Olympics. It might take a few years, so we're going to need those younger players to get good by the time the Olympics roll around. So I've been working with Val. She started out in Arizona, and she's been having a hard time with making like a lesson plan for me. She's like, I don't know, I just did it. So I've been working with her, getting a lesson plan, and hopefully within the next few months, maybe even over the summer, we'll start with the Florida edition of it.
What kind of things do you plan to do with, are you going to do some instruction? Are you going to open a school? What are you going to do for those kids?
Well, we'll start small. Probably just, 4 to 10 kids, maybe. I don't know. I work at a school, but I'm not like a teacher, so I don't know. My kids are grown. I don't really deal with little kids too much anymore, but we have a local family that has younger children, and I enjoy hanging out with them. So I think we're gonna start with that group, maybe in their neighborhood where there's a lot of kids, and then see how it goes, and then hopefully maybe bring it to the local parks, or see if we can get it like after school program. But it's going to take a little time. With all my cornhole traveling, I don't have a whole bunch of time. This guy keeps me going on the weekends to whatever tournament he can find.
You're welcome. There's a few other things that I really want to talk to you about. But this is kind of a fun question. Okay. If you could secure the world over, it doesn't matter if it's the ocean or a great blue whale, if you could secure one sponsor the world over, who would that be?
Okay, so for a serious answer, I would say the Special Olympics.
Nice. No reason to get teared up now.
And a not serious, of course, Krispy Kreme, Malibu, because Krispy Kreme, is way better than Dunkin'. And I'm everywhere I go, I'm looking. Like, I found it in Las Vegas, I found it in Albany. They're going to be opening one in Times Square.
Nice.
So everywhere I go, even when we went to Connecticut, I think they had 3 of them at the Mohegan.
I think you're right. That was fun.
So I'm always going to Krispy Kreme. I really don't eat the whole dozen by myself. I do share.
Usually get that dozen free, though, that we take to our room. You don't tell anybody about.
That's breakfast, because those places don't have free breakfast. But I always posted it on Instagram or on Facebook. Hey, I'm at Dunkin' Donuts, and I don't want to call anybody out, but Jerry Roberts from Georgia, who came to our last conference, told me he was going to get me Krispy Kreme, and he didn't. So I'm a little disappointed in him.
Uncle Jerry. He wouldn't be a great uncle if he didn't disappoint you every once in a while.
But yeah, so when I post Krispy Kreme, everybody knows, oh, April's at Krispy Kreme again. Or, are you bringing us Krispy Kreme to school? So
everybody knows.
Everybody knows. That's awesome. I've been to Alabama and got king cake Krispy Kreme donuts.
That's pretty awesome.
So I would say Krispy Kreme would be a good sponsor for me.
That would be the one you'd really like to secure. That's awesome. So I want to ask you, there are many women in the game that we both know. Which of those women, I know you don't have a hero complex or anything like that, but tell me some of the women that you look up to. Tell me some of the women you look forward to seeing. Tell me some of the women that you look forward to hanging out, and tell me some of the women you look forward to beating.
Okay. Well, you know this about me, but some people might not, that I really don't like people. I don't talk to many people. I pretty much play my games and I'm done. But I have met over the years some women like Rosie, of course. She was probably her and Sam, of course, because they live in Florida. You know, some of the people that I've grown up playing, because I'm older than both of them. Grown up playing with them and against them. And like I said, I played with both of them and won. So, you know, they're kind of like my heroes. Of course, there's Stacia and Christine. Christine and I never really talked, but Stacia and I have got close. But now she's left the game. I still talk to her occasionally, but my pro partner this year, Leslie, you know, we're trying to be good together. We've got a better record than both of our husbands do with their pro partners. JD, Joe.
So let me ask you this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but how did that game go against your husband just the other night when we played on the ACL Digital Network Live? I'm not quite sure how it worked out.
I think both of the husbands won.
Both of the husbands. Who else are you?
Joe.
Joe.
Adcock.
Oh my gosh, that's your pro partner's husband.
Yeah, Leslie.
Wow. So they're 2-0 against two. I hear there may be a match coming up.
They're 2-0 against us, but
they couldn't beat us in doubles.
This weekend when we go up to Myrtle Beach. Rock Hill. Sorry, Rock Hill. I heard somebody say, "Bring it on, bitches."
Wow, that's exactly what she said. That is exactly what
I think there might be a husband versus wife match coming up this weekend.
Nice. I'm gonna predict that there will be a winner in that match.
There will be a winner.
And if it's us, I feel like there's gonna be some losers too. So that's awesome. So tell me also, tell me what you think the game means for women. You know, how do you see this game working into the lives of women? You said you wanted to pioneer the game for women. How do you think that's working out for women with this game?
I think this season the women's players have the numbers have grown significantly, and especially now with the times that we're in the virtual, you know, they don't have to leave their house. They can play it at the house while their kids are in the other room, or while their kids are filming for them. You know, you never know. But there's more and more women, and I think that knowing that they don't have to play against the men, that there is a women's division, that more and more of them will play.
I think that's probably true. I mean, and getting them to play is, to me, that's very important. I want to ask you one question that you and I have talked about a lot, right? And this is not in any way to hurt or offend any women, but can you tell me, the game's been around for a while, the ACL's been here for a good 4 years. Can you tell me why a woman has never won the singles championship? What's your opinion why a woman has never taken it all day long and won a singles championship in the ACL?
Okay, this is my opinion only, so don't shoot me, women. Like when we talked about it before, I said there was 3 things that I think. One and two kind of go together. Stamina. Like, I know after one game, if I lose my first game, and then I have to play and play and play, but I'm like 3 or 4 games in, I'm tired, you know? I am just like, okay, I'm done. I don't care if I win anymore. And then I personally am not a drinker when I play, but I know a lot of people do. And a lot of men, I'm sure there's a lot of women too, but a lot of men can handle their alcohol for a longer period of time throughout the day. So come those later matches in the day, you know, yes, the guys are getting drunk, but I think with the smaller frame that a lot of women have, they may not,
handle that
alcohol as well. So by the time they get to that fourth and fifth game, they may be sloppy drunk. That's just my opinion. Okay, and then my third one, which is totally me, but like I know Lori Duell and Brittany, they are like super competitive, but I'm not, and some women might not be as competitive, and think, if they lose their game, they're just like, oh, it's just a game, where some of them are like, damn it, I gotta beat them the next time. I'm gonna get back to them and beat them. But so it's dependent on the person, but I think Brittany and Lori will be up there very soon. I know Brittany has played on television, so she has the experience. Lori played in the Land Shark against the pros, and so she's got that experience, and I think the two of them really want it.
That's good. So then you can see the future where one of them might take down a singles championship here, maybe a national, and maybe even the world championship at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that'd be.
Of course,
that would be awesome.
Anyone can win.
Anyone can play. Anyone can win. So I want to know, how do you feel the ACL has done for women?
I think they've gone like above and beyond finding the sponsorship for the women. They know that, to grow the game, you can't just keep getting more and more men. You got to go somewhere else. There's women and children.
You guys are prettier.
Yeah, some of us. But in order to grow the game, you got to, broaden your horizon. So we got the men, we need to get the women involved now. So going out there and finding that sponsorship for the women and giving them that division by themselves that they can compete in and win some money, I think that's the way that, that was a good way for them to go. And I think moving on, that, the more that the women see there's money, the more we'll want to play. There'll be more women pro teams.
Just giving them more opportunity.
Yeah.
That was a second part of that question. Is there anything that you think they can do to make it better for women? And if so, what would that be? So giving them more opportunities, even though, like you said, they've gone above and beyond, even something a little bit different, a little better, it's just going to keep them coming. And I do think even a women's pro division wouldn't be a bad idea, but that's just me talking. I don't know anything.
Well, when we get more of those women pros, like, we only have a handful right now.
Right.
Only a couple pro women's teams. I mean, there's some husband-wife teams out there, which we could never do, but
we've done okay in a couple of Jack and Jills or a couple of random tournaments. But you're right. When it gets down to being serious, there's something that comes over the both of us, because I'm way more competitive than you ever want to be. I've been competing since I believe since I was in the womb. But it's just one of those things that, and that's just not you. So if I see something and you see the face that I get, it just, you've been here too long. I mean, 26 years is something where you see that face and just like that, that's exactly great. And I know, I understand, we've had the conversations and I get it, but and maybe we can get over that, because maybe at some point I'll be better, and maybe at some point you'll stop missing bags.
Maybe.
So tell me, you've got a brand new pro partner this year in Leslie Adcock. You guys did pretty well. I think you went 2-2 or something in the first national. We were in Cleveland, poised and ready to play, but we know how that worked out. You guys are going up there this weekend. I want to know, how do you think this weekend's going to go? And then what do you see for your future with Leslie?
So this weekend's going to be weird, I think. It'll be nice because there won't be as many teams for us to compete against, but there's still going to be some good teams there. from what I hear. I think the format that they have for us with stepping out of the box and stuff will mess with some people, and hopefully not us. But I'm hopeful. I think we'll go 2-2 at least.
2-2. That's going to be in the round robin.
Right.
There's a little different format. It's going to be some 12-round stuff, so big comebacks might not be available. There's going to be it's going to be a round robin for seeding, and then it's going to be a single elimination tournament, which really is going to put you on a place where you probably need to concentrate overwhelmingly.
And I didn't read anything in the email about the alcohol, so
I'm a little worried about that myself.
I'm wondering how that's going to work out for some people.
I actually had a conversation, Ryan Johnson, a fellow pro, and I talked today, and there isn't anything about the alcohol. And with all these extreme precautions that they're taking, I'm a little bit worried about what is the alcohol going to be? Is there going to be liquor available? What is that going to do to people who really do seem to depend on that to play? I don't know. I wonder what that's going to be like. So to me, I've been practicing not drinking and playing, and I'll be the first to tell you I don't like it. You might.
See, and I have the advantage then because I don't drink when I play.
Right.
But my partner might need to have a little wine for breakfast.
That's awesome. I want to know something. Tell me about how you got to this point to where you are a pro. You're qualified to be a pro. You've done all the things that you needed to do. What is your practice regimen? I know what it is, but tell the world what it is.
I don't.
You don't practice at all, right?
I try not to. It's too hot in Florida. If we do practice, it's usually around between 8 and 9:30 because I go to bed at 10. We have to flick the lights on in the Chismark Outdoor Cornhole Arena.
I love that place.
Some days it's good, some days it's bad. I did work on my airmails for a little while one night, but I really don't like practicing. It's boring by yourself. I won't do any ghost tournaments because I just can't stand it. It's like, why am I throwing this and nobody's throwing next to me, but I'm still losing points? So, ghost is not for me. Haven't done any virtual tournaments. Luckily, we have broken the rules and still done Tuesday night cornhole. So,
well, we've maybe not broken the rules, but maybe we've stretched. I mean, we tried to keep it to 10.
10 teams.
Teams!
Maybe 10 teams and not 10 players. There's 10 on that side and 10 on this side.
They're socially distanced. They're 27 feet apart, for goodness sakes.
But yeah, so Tuesdays and a few birthday parties or last minute cornhole at friend's house is about all I do.
So your practice regimen is pretty much nil and nothing. When you go to a national event, what type of nerves do you get? Do you feel nervous? Do you get nervous? And then how do you deal with it? Because you just told everybody that you don't drink, so that doesn't take the edge off for you. So what do you do?
Well, usually after my first match, I'm not nervous anymore. I mean, like you said earlier, if I don't know you, I don't know anything about you, so why should I be nervous? I can think, oh, I can beat him. I don't even know who he is. So, usually after a couple of rounds, unless they're really big rounds, I kind of settle down. I prefer playing doubles because I always have my partner there to, yell at me, unless it's you. Except Leslie doesn't really yell at me. She just says, "Come on, girl." But talking in like this, even though there's nobody around us, is more nervous than playing cornhole.
No kidding.
Yeah. Because the whole world could see this.
The whole world, yeah. I mean, they might not get it in some parts of China, but there's a good chance that a lot of the world will see it. We hope. I mean, that's the hope, that a lot of the world sees it and they like it. I don't. What? We didn't really talk about your future with Leslie fully. We talked about how you feel about what's coming up this weekend. If we get a chance to go do a couple more nationals, they're still on the schedule. How do you guys want to finish the end of the year?
With a winning, better than her husband's. How's that?
I mean, if that's what motivates you, that's amazing, because everybody needs something to motivate them. Me,
Yeah.
I just want to get my first win. I don't even worry about who I'm better than. I just want to be better than one person, so
Right.
I get it.
I know I'm not at the level, although like locally I've played against Noah and Matthew, and sometimes I beat them, sometimes I haven't. But I don't think at a national level that I'm going to beat them.
Mhm.
Matthew, Noah, Matthew Morton, and Brad, I know people have been playing longer than me. I know people are better than me. But I want to go and do the best that I can. And I know sometimes everybody has a bad game. So I might beat that team when they're having their bad game.
Right. You just hope that you're the recipient of the good luck or their bad
Yeah,
luck.
that was one of our wins in Fort Lauderdale. We played against Josh Lunsford and his partner, and they just couldn't find it.
And
we
you guys
got
won?
lucky.
Nice.
So
That's a big win. Josh Lunsford is a national champion from last year, along with Jimmy McGuffin. So that's a
he's not
huge
playing
win.
with Jimmy this year,
Right,
though.
but that's a huge win to be able to knock off one half of a national champion. What more can you ask for? That's a big win. I didn't ask you about any of your signature wins. I didn't know if you had any. You did. You
I
did
don't
have the
remember
Woodall
people.
one, so right. Are there any other causes that you support and you can help to make better
You want
through
me to get
cornhole?
emotional, right?
I don't want you to get emotional. I don't want you to shed a tear, but
But I will.
okay, then we don't have to talk about that. That's I don't want to have to talk for you. So, is there anybody that you want to help make better through this game?
Well, because we talked about Kingdom Kids, so I want to build the kids program. I wasn't joking about Special Olympics. We've done local stuff for them, local tournaments. Of course, our autism boards that we want to show to everybody. And those are because of our son.
Yeah, so those of you who don't know, we have a son. His name is Evan. He's 24 years old, and we went through a pretty tough time trying to figure out, what was going on with Evan. He didn't really talk until he was about 2.5, 3 years old, but yet we could tell he was super intelligent. It was crazy for us, and he was our second child, and our daughter, we attributed to some of his nonverbal to her because she was incredible with telling us what he needed. So he didn't really have to talk. And they had a way of communicating that almost seemed like words. So we didn't worry, but then we did. So we didn't know if he was deaf or if he had speech problems or what it was. But it took us until he was 16 years old to get an actual diagnosis. And then we found out that he was autistic. And I mean, he went through school with an IEP. I don't know if anybody knows anything about those things, but and he's gone through school. He graduated in the right amount of time. He graduated with honors. He's a great student, a great kid, super intelligent, and he decided to go into design. And he works for Boardman Cornhole. It's a company that I'm involved with. I'm half owner of that company. And he works with us as our designer and on boards and things. And April and him, she's real passionate about autism and autism awareness. And Evan obviously is as well. So he's done a bunch of designs for us. Three designs over the last 3 years of an autistic board, an autism board. The first one is the puzzle board that every single player in my region cannot stand, because April took so much pride in making that board that it is the most slick board on the face of the planet. Not just in Jacksonville, not just in Florida, not just in America. I'm telling you, if we take it anywhere, it's the fastest board on the face of the planet. And then we did a second one, and it's not near as fast. So it's so awesome when we put them next to each other. And then Evan just came out with a new one with the infinity sign and the puzzle that he put together this year. And so April and him have been kind of instrumental in putting those together and things along that nature. We got some jerseys coming up that he's building, he's designing. We're going to get a couple of different autism awareness jersey designs for everybody to choose from through boardmancornhole.com. Go ahead and check us out over there. So
shameless plug.
And then, you know, we love what Evan does, and Evan is actually going to get his own little corner on boardmancornhole.com as well for you to just go take a look at retail. It's going to be pretty awesome for him. And as he's going through school, he's actually switched his major. He's going through CAD now, CAD program at the local state college, the state community college. And he's working hard. He's taking at least 2 to 3 classes. and he does some part-time work in the cafeteria with April. April is a cafeteria manager here in the county for the schools, an elementary school here. And he works with her, and he does some things, and you know, he's just progressing along, and that's one of the big things for her. That's why you see her get emotional, because Evan is just, you know, it's her little boy. They're close, and she worked hard to figure out what was going on. I mean, countless hours of just trying to figure out what was going on and how things were. She still gets emotional just hearing somebody talk about it. So that's pretty real. So it's just some of the things that we've gone through and you know, and just been a part of in our life. So we really thank you guys for tuning in and checking out April, learning a little bit more about her. I can't believe she's crying instead of smiling towards the end of this thing, but we really appreciate it. We're going to try to put a few more episodes together over the next couple of weeks. So you can come and check us out. We're going to distribute this in a few places. The ACL Digital Network will be one place where you can come and watch us live. I'm not sure which day they're going to play it, but I'm sure if you keep looking, check your local listings, you'll figure it out. And we'll also add it up to our Talk Cornhole website. So tonight's been a great night. Thank you, April. Thank you, St. Michael's Soldiers, Boardman Cornhole, the ACL. Thank you, JD, for helping me set this up. Thank you, Clay. We appreciate the time here, and we appreciate your time. Once again, this is Talk Cornhole. You got robbed. Thanks for watching.